Now, the big takeaway from day 5 of the Winter Games wasn't the medals won or lost, it was the weather. The wind has been a constant complaint for those in Pyeongchang. And today, Mother Nature really gnashed her teeth. Fences were pulled up by the bolts, tents were tossed. Wind gusts in excess of 70 kilometers per hour forced the closure of the Olympic Park and the postponement of several sporting events. Let's go now to Pyeongchang. We'll get the latest from CTV's Joy Malbon. Joy, the weather, the big story in South Korea, it seems, with those high winds forcing events to be canceled. Tell us more about what is being done to work around the windy conditions.
Well, there's not much officials can do to work around these very strong wind gusts. It's really stealing the headlines here. For the third day and out of 4 days, alpine events have been either canceled or postponed or delayed. It's very frustrating for some of the athletes. At one point in the Olympic Village, some temporary structures that were put up had to be evacuated. The winds were that strong. Now, these winds come down from Siberia. And just the other day when we were interviewing an athlete, I mean, it was like a mini tornado. It was just like whipping around like this. And, you know, a lot of the athletes had complained earlier on slopestyle about it being too dangerous, although one of our athletes managed to adjust to the conditions. That was Laurie Blouin.
All right. Also making news, Canadian bronze medalist Kim Boutin, who is saying she is receiving several threats online after reaching the podium in short track speed skating. What's the story here, Joy?
This is really disturbing news. It truly is. She, a South Korean athlete, was had been judged to have interfered, and that bumped Canadian speed skater Kim Boutin up to the podium, winning a bronze. She was absolutely overjoyed, but overnight on some of her social media, it's being reported that people were writing some nasty things and violent things, suggesting that her hands be cut off, suggesting that she won a dirty medal, and saying things like Canada has taught her how to cheat. Now, tonight, when she received her medal, she was quite emotional. She broke down in tears and asked that the media not ask her any questions. So it's quite troubling. When we were at Canada House today, Patrick Chan, the figure skater, was there, and I asked him about these threats. And he said that he feels very safe and well protected in the Olympic Village. And he hasn't seen anything. He wasn't quite aware of it. But he did say, sport, it can get quite emotional. And clearly these South Korean fans feel cheated by the judges.
Okay, let's turn to some competition. A Canadian figure skating pair is in the hunt for a medal.
They are. For this pair, these Canadians, they're considered an underdog, but that's really troubling because they're veterans. Megan Duhamel and Eric Radford, they've won Team Silver in Sochi. They won Team Gold. They're confident going into this competition, but they've had some troubles. Eric had some back problems, some problems with motivation. They changed up their coaching staff, but to be considered underdogs is just a strange thing. But that's how they're approaching it, because they see these games as their grand finale.
Okay, Joy Malbon joining us from Pyeongchang. Joy, thanks for that update.